All right, we're going to do a little walkthrough for the elephant tusk CER here. We've all already read this probably multiple times now, so I'm not going to reread it to you, but I will go back and highlight some stuff as we go here. So first and foremost, I'm not going to do this part here either. Remember, that's just for you guys to kind of record thoughts, kind of gather yourself and where you're going to attack this question from. The question is, and we did this together, so this shouldn't be new to you. So where are the elephant tusks going? Or why are they disappearing? Why are elephant tusks disappearing? Am I going to spell that right? Yes, I am. Okay, so kind of the same question, just two different ways to word that. And I'm going to make a claim here that the elephant tusks are disappearing. Notice I'm kind of just restating the question a little bit. Because of human influence. Okay, now I've left that a little bit vague. I didn't necessarily zoom in on what human influence is the root cause of this, because I'm going to kind of come back to that in my reasoning. So if I leave it more vague now when I get to the reasoning, it's going to seem like I'm not restating so much the same thing over and over again. When I was learning how to be a decent writer, that was one of the main problems I had, was I kind of kept saying the same thing over and over again in my writing. And so when you're writing or when you're reading something, really, you don't want to just keep reading the same thing over and over again. It needs to sound new. So there's a little trick for you. If you find yourself kind of being repetitive, leave the early bit a little bit more vague. And then when you come back, you can explain it in more detail and it sounds, I don't know, more engaging to your reader. So let's go back here. I'm going to look for stuff where do I see evidence that human influence is leading to the decline of our elephant tusks. I'm going to highlight here. This whole thing here is really, really good. I don't know. Did I do that right? Let's see. Highlight. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so obviously this piece of evidence is really important because it shows the decline over a period of time. And historically, 70 years isn't that long. So it's kind of shocking that we could see basically a 29% jump in tuskless elephants within a 70-year period. That's pretty significant. So evidence number one, I'm just going to kind of paraphrase what's highlighted right there. And I'm going to say, am I bold? Yeah, over the past 70 years, the percentage of elephants born without tusks has increased. And I could say increased by 29%, or I could just say increased from 1% to 30%. Actually, that's kind of false there. Over the past 70 years isn't true because it's now 2020. That study was 1930 to 2000. So that's kind of 20 years old. So I need to reword that. I'm going to say over a 70-year span, because I don't want to necessarily lie in my evidence here. Over a 70-year, not with the bracket, the percentage of elephants born without tusks has increased from 1 to 30%. And then I'll just leave out the has there and see if that sounds better. Over a 70-year span, the percentage of elephants born without tusks increased from 1% to 30%. Good. So that sounds a little bit better. Because if I said over the past 70 years, again, that would imply from, let's see if I can do the math, from 1950 to 1920, or from 1950 to 2020, but that's not what it was. Okay, so this piece of evidence kind of helps out my claim because it shows the decline, right? And that's kind of only half of it here, right? I need to prove that a decline is happening. There's my evidence to prove that. And now I need to prove that it's human influence that is the cause of that. Okay, so let's go through here. African elephants are endangered. Okay, one of the greatest threats to elephants is they're hunted for their ivory tusks. I might want to use that later. Let's see. I'm just going to highlight it so I can save it for later. I'm going to put this in whatever that color is, purple, pinky purple. I don't know. The elephant tusk is largely the same body structure as a tooth, just like that doesn't really help me. That tells me that elephants can have, different sizes of tusks, blah, blah, blah. Okay, piano keys used to be made from ivory. That's important, but not the most important piece of evidence. This is one that really sticks out to me. The 1900s to kill as many elephants as they could. And I don't need the bit there about the farmland. I just need to know that the humans were killing the elephants, right? The reason why they were doing it doesn't really matter in this case. And then here we go. Scientists that study the elephants noted that elephants left alive tended to be those born without tusks or with insignificant tusks. That is really, really important. So I'm going to kind of combine all of those purple highlighted parts into one thought here. So evidence 2, let's paraphrase this. So in the 1900s, African farmers had elephants killed. Oh, I'm not in bold. I can fix that later. In large numbers. Again, I don't need to say why they were having them killed. I can put that in if I want, but just in the interest of time, I'm not going to. And scientists found those left alive had small or no tusks. Okay, and then I'm going to throw this in bold so it stands out a bit. There we go. Okay, so we've kind of proven both parts now. Elephants are disappearing, and it's because of human influence. Okay, we've got those two pieces of evidence to back that up. So now it's into the reasoning part here, which is a little bit trickier. So let's think about this for a second. I need to not restate these two pieces of evidence. I need to kind of merge the two together. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, let's see. Because of hunting of those elephants with tusks, the only elephants left alive. See, I'm getting tempted to go into restating that part from evidence 2 here. See, I started doing it, found those left alive. I need to back this up. I don't want to do that. Let's kind of try this again here. Let's see. Let me start off with because humans hunted elephants, the only elephants that could reproduce had no, let's say little or no tusks, making their offspring likely to have little or no tusks as well. Let me double check that. Because humans hunted elephants, I need to add to it, because humans hunted elephants with tusks. The only elephants alive that could reproduce had little or no tusks, making their offspring likely to have little or no tusks as well. Okay, let's double check here. Have I kind of brought everything together? My claim, the elephant tusks are disappearing because of human influence. I mentioned the human influence in my reasoning. Did I restate too much of the evidence? Let's see here. Over a 70-year span, the percentage of elephants was didn't restate that. That's fine. In the 1900s, African farmers had elephants killed in large numbers, and scientists found I kind of restated that a little bit, but I think I did a good enough job making it new that it wasn't just a restatement. And you see how it kind of brings all of the pieces together. So it's got the human influence. It's got the only ones left alive had little or no tusks, and it brings up the decrease as well. Or I guess the increase of those without tusks. Okay, I think I'm going to wrap that up there. I don't need to self-evaluate myself. That's what you're doing right now. So go down here then, kind of compare your thought process in your writing to how I worked through this. And, this isn't a, did I do exactly as Mr. Derfler did? That's not the point of this. The point is, did you use the same thought process that I used? And did your writing do a good enough job of not restating evidence and the reasoning? Was your claim clear? Does your evidence support the claim? Those are the things you're checking. It's not a, did I do exactly what I'm seeing here in the video? It's, was my thought process the same, or was it at least close? Okay. So give yourself a rating 1 to 5, and then give me a because. Make sure you're specific here. Don't say I'm a 3 because I didn't understand some parts of it. If you're going to say that, tell me which parts you don't think you understood completely. Okay. Other than that, I think we're good to go. Email me if you have any questions. I'm expecting this by Friday. So if you can have your self-evaluation done by Friday and then submit that work there on Classroom. I'll talk to you guys later. How do I end this? I don't remember. There it is.